Hello, and welcome to the Pin Podcast, where it's modern living with everyday topics with a vintage flair. I'm your host, PinUp Miami, and today we have a very special guest, and I am proud to call her a friend. We have Tina from Vintage Girl Studios. She is located in Rhode Island and is the first guest via Zoom, and I am so excited. How are you?
So nice to see you.
This is like social distancing to the max.
I know.
So tell me, Tina, tell me a little bit about you, your studio, and introduce yourself to the world.
Okay. Well, my name is Krzystyna Caldarone, but friends like Jen call me Tina. About 12 years ago, about 30 years ago, I started doing photography and made it my career. And about 12 years ago, somebody introduced me to the whole world of pinup. And after my first shoot, I knew this is exactly what I want to do with the rest of my life. Like, this is where my studio needs to be. This has tied in all my interests, whether it's vintage fashion, antiquing, photography, just tied it all together in a nice big bow, women empowerment, all together. And I've been working for 12 years, and this is my main gig, and I love it very much.
And you see all types of women, and you really make any type of body look good.
I think everybody looks good, So women come in, we give them a makeover. We do have wardrobe to borrow, and we photograph them in using different camera techniques and lighting, whether they want to be a 1940s starlet or if they want to be a pinup girl or 1920s flapper. It really goes anywhere. I've even had people want to do more like Victorian type portraiture. And I love it very much.
And before I even knew you as a friend, I admired your work so much because it looks your techniques give it that vintage flair, which is in your title. Mm-hmm. But that's what I love the most about your photography. And then when we got to know each other, if you want to tell people how we met.
We met at Viva East. Was that 3 years ago now?
Yeah, because it was 2017 because I won Viva East 2018. So.
Yep, 2017, and I was like, I'm going to Miami in a few months, and I'd love to hook up and do some photos because I always like to research wherever I travel, like the scene, and what's going on. And I met you, and then we did our shoot. We had fun. We went to Havana 1957, which was amazing. And the photos came out great. And then you came back, and we keep on going back and forth.
And then the second year I went to Viva East, I got to go to Rhode Island. She introduced me to the Fluffernutter, to Dell's Lemonade. And then I was able to get like a quick intro into your studio because it was the first time I was in your studio. And one thing I also admired, I know I'm talking a lot about you, but you're my guest, is her lighting techniques. She doesn't have it's not very high tech, but it's like perfect, it's natural, and she still gets that whole you get that whole ambiance.
It's funny because whenever I can find like vintage photography magazines, like I try to collect them whenever I can. When we were at Viva East that year, remember I was like, what was it? Four guys and gals? Remember I was like, I need this magazine because it had like lighting diagrams within it. And that's part of like studying those lighting diagrams because light is light. It's still going to be the same. And there's a little couple of variations with digital that you have to make. But that's how I study those kind of lighting diagrams to get like the correct
and you can tell with your pictures because it gives it that look that you're looking for. So what are your top three reasons three things you would tell a girl why they should shoot a pinup shoot with you?
Well, I usually say do it for you. A lot of people, they come and say, well, I want to do this for my boyfriend or my girlfriend or whatever. And I'm like, no, it's not about that. Like, it's about doing something for you, like experience something for you. And, um, playing dress up for a day when usually, most of my clients are a lot of moms and wearing, yoga pants and, we get so, well, not you, but, but I mean, like everyday life, like we kind of lost a little formality where we only get dressed up for weddings or special occasions.
Funerals.
So it's, oh, yeah, yeah. But this is a way that you can like have your pretty and have your hair and makeup done and feel good about yourself. And then when you walk out of here, you have that empowerment feeling and you can bring it into your everyday life. Like, I'm gonna go get some red lipstick, and when I wear that, I feel like nothing can stop me.
So when somebody comes and they've never shot with you before and they're nervous, do you have any tips for them on unwinding? Let's say they have it booked for like 2 weeks from now, and they're just nervous because they've never done a shoot, and it's they're doing it for themselves and also for their boyfriend. And what kind of tips would you have for somebody?
Well, I tell them that, I don't work with a lot of models. Like I say, like 10% of people who have come in through my studio has worked with other photographers hasn't worked with any photographers besides their wedding photographer or their high school senior photographer. So I'm like, I'm going to guide you through this entire process. I tell everybody I'm going to guide you. And it depends on your time. If you want to come into the studio and we can discuss colors and things and themes, like I am always willing to work with people because I look at our whole session as a collaboration. Because, I'm the expert on the lighting, the clothing, and the direction, and I just try to find their personal style. But I tell everybody, like, nobody's ever really done, most of the people who come in here have never done this before. And I'm gonna come over and try to move your feet, not really lately, but I'm gonna give better direction. You tucking, let you know that your strap is hanging out.
Lipstick on your teeth.
Or lipstick on your teeth.
I think that's the question I get a lot when I go out and people see some of my photo shoots or they see me in person. They're always like, "Oh, I wish I could dress like you. I wish I had the confidence." Or, I don't want to take pictures like that because I don't know how to pose. And what I tell them is, if you have the right photographer, they really assist you with the whole package. They help you.
It is. I mean, it's like, I have an idea. I have like some poses that I know that are going to work with people, and sometimes they're not going to work out. And if they feel like really, if they can't do a pose, then I'm like, well, we're just going to move on because there's a million other poses that we can do. But everybody usually leaves with a laugh and
they
a
want
smile, and they want more. And then I see them again, and then I have my regulars, and they come back and back and back and back. But yeah, I really love what I do. I love the women that I've met, like you and other people. You all inspire me. I love following you all. I miss you all. I can't wait for another event to see everybody soon, hopefully.
Oh, and we didn't mention it. You're the official sponsor of the Viva East contest, no? The grand prize.
Yeah, like the grand prize. I do the photo shoots. I try to do something special. I invite them into the studio. We have like a great day. I love working with Danny. Danny is amazing. Mark and Deborah have always been so gracious on me. And I look forward to Viva East next year and stuff.
Yeah, I always have fun at Viva East. It's because, at least for me in South Florida, there is a scene that I've tried to bring out because I know people love the same things I love. But when I go to Viva East, it's just a different environment, and I feel like I'm in a family environment, and everyone just, I've been lucky every time I go up there.
Yeah, it's interesting because as I said, whenever I travel, I try to find people with the same interests. And, one of the beautiful things about the internet is, if you have an interest, you can find people where you're traveling to. And some of some of the places that I've gone aren't as welcoming as Florida or New England. I mean, everybody I've met in Florida has been so nice. And I look forward to going to Rockabilly
Yes,
Q.
it's um a rockabilly, I guess, day, not a weekender, but a day at the Immokalee Hard Rock. It was the first year last year, and I
Mm-hmm.
had the honor of hosting the pinup contest there. And it would be
Mm-hmm.
so fun with you there.
I was this close to going. I had to get things like kids and work and Chris and everybody like on board, make sure my parents, because my parents live down there. And the flight jumped like $400 within like an hour. Within an hour. I was so mad. I was all prepared. I was like thinking what I was going to bring, hanging out with
Yeah,
you.
that would have been amazing, and you would have had fun. But I mean, I'm sure next year's gonna be bigger and better, and hopefully with this, that was officially the last event I did with COVID, before COVID.
Hmm.
And talking about
Hmm.
COVID, how is this impacting your photography?
Um, it's it's very interesting. I mean, I'm very hopeful with my business, but like in this time, things are um, up and down. And I think every small business is feeling this crazy sting of, will I survive? Will I not survive? So I'm just going easy. I'm opening up actually today. Today is the first day I'm going to be shooting in ages. So, I mean, I'm just going to, work through and try to survive this, taking all the precautions, like along with the state, just like any salon. Um, and yeah, I'm just moving my clients. And if I need to move them again, I have the flexibility. I'll move them again. Like you will get a shoot because I'm never not going to be a photographer. Like until I'm blind or I can't walk or something happens, I'll always be a photographer no matter what.
So, what are some of the
Um,
precautions? Like, does the person? I mean, I'm sure they have to come in with a mask, and when they do their makeup, take it off.
yeah. Yeah, in the state of Rhode Island, we are using N95 masks. We have to provide an N95 mask for our stylists and a face shield. And then I have gloves and things. And I have wardrobe, but I'm kind of evolving a little bit and thinking, should I tell you about my new
You want to say
project?
it now? Let's say there's new projects coming up for Vintage Girl
My
Studios. A drum roll.
All right, I have to tell a little a story.
Yeah,
I
go
have to
ahead.
talk about it a little bit to explain it. And this is the first time I'm announcing it, and I'm announcing it on your show because I'm a little shy, but like when it comes to
This is such
this,
an
but
honor.
I feel I know that, but this is like my big like, oh my God, this is what I've been working for. So I thought when COVID hit, I started to work on doing an online store, which I feel like this is going to be a long, drawn out, year or two. So I don't want to put that out, my online store out just yet. But it has, some studio swag, t-shirts, calendars. We're going to do a 2021 calendar. Um, and I worked on that for the first couple of weeks of COVID. And then, when it hit our family, we did lose. If you've been in the studio and you've heard me talk about Grandma Caldarone, who is my husband's um, grandmother, she was 100 years old. And she was a great resource because I'd go to her, talk to her about hair or makeup or clothing and, her lifestyle back between the 20s and 30s. Um, she was a great resource. And if you've been in through the studio, you might have borrowed her gloves, you've seen her mirrors, seen her, held her iron, her blender. She was just really like her and her husband were really, 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 we were all really, really close. And they were in a home and they did pass away of COVID. But during this time, also my daughter, when I was 12, I used to sew. I stopped at 14. My daughter's at that age. I wanted to teach her, so I decided my mother-in-law gave me grandma's sewing machine from like, I'd say it must be from the 70s or 60s. I don't know. I got to send you pictures so you can date it. And I started to teach Ella, but she lost it. So I started to kind of look at old photos and seeing the construction of like play suits and certain like beachwear from the 40s and 50s. So I started sewing and I started making a collection. Now it's a collection. And I'm working on my lookbook. And my plan is to sell this on my online store. And I really want to make it into really comfortable things that you can throw on the beach. I mean, I see that a lot of one of the most popular swimsuits on Amazon these days is like the retro high-waisted. You feel great in that, but what about like going into the store or going into the restaurant after coming off the beach? Something that you can easily tie, comfortable, light, and doing like shawls and things like that within that retro 1940s, 50s starlet size. And they have to be able, a little bit more elasticy, because, here in New England, when you try on your swimsuit in May, after being home for 6 months, it's kind of like, like, so this way it's, you have like a little bit of room and you still feel good in it. So I'm working on this new beachwear collection, and clients are going to be able to order their own wardrobe depending on what they like, whether it's like polka dots or certain color schemes. Like, it's going to be handmade. And I kind of love it because it's like, because I'm a photographer, I'm always staring at my screen. Like, I'm always staring at my phone, staring at my computer, staring at the back of the camera, watching TV. It's like, it's a great way. I found this new love to like let go. And a lot of women also inspire me, like you inspire me. And Honey Hepburn inspires me because she makes the 1700s Outlander, yes, like outfits when she does her reenacting. And who else? May Mac, Twirling Seamstress, Miss Meech, like all these amazing women, Miss Mina Murray, like all these, like Gertie, like this, all these women that make these, like, and show this process. And I've been really enjoying it. It's really, because I haven't been working because there's no clients coming in, it's been like a great pastime, but I'm getting better. I mean, real seamstresses would probably look and be like, look at our stitches. But I'm going to get better. Every outfit that's been coming. So you'll be seeing that very soon.
I'm super excited for that.
I'm excited. Yep, I'm excited to send you one so I can see how.
Well, send you an outfit. Look at your daughter.
Help.
It's a cameo.
It's a cameo. She just woke up. She's like, "What are you doing?"
It's too early, but yeah, I'm super excited for you, and I'm so excited because if you take, like, even the way that you talk about the lighting, the natural lighting in the book, and how you incorporated it, and then now with the clothing, you're researching like the real, authentic, vintage, and then you're gonna convert it into modern time, and I just find it very beautiful because you really keep it classic with, the vintage flair with, in the modern times, which is exactly what I love,
I'm also like, the feel of this clothing is going to be like, I really love softer clothing. Like, I am like, I want to have a dress or an outfit that I can wear from the beach to the restaurant to put on heels and still feel really good. So I've been working on it, and you'll see images. Maybe I can send you some you can add with this.
Yeah, because you can watch this if you're listening to it on iTunes, Spotify, or any other podcast. I also put it on YouTube, and I put images on the screen as needed.
But yeah, I miss you terribly though. Like, I can't wait to come visit you again. Hopefully I'm going to come in February if the world is
And it's better. Always summer down here, so your beachwear is more than welcome.
Yes, it's going to be great. Like, a lot of halters, a lot of ties, a lot of little elastic, and like, It's been great. It's been a really great. I've been finding sewing has been really relaxing during this whole like
Yeah, and about
2020.
your stuff not being perfect. I mean, I'm a self-taught seamstress, and it always improves with every project I do. So, you know, whatever people say, don't, you know. I mean, people compliment my outfits and they don't see the inside. So,
I know. I'm like, oh, I gotta make a liner for this, but I've had time lately.
practicing.
So
Got the whole fam woken up.
the whole family having teenagers is
Ooh, it must be
crazy.
difficult during COVID too, no? Because they're stuck at home.
They are, but like they kind of just go in their rooms most of the time. Like that's kind of like me and Chris, we've been having a good time. Remember the park that was by my house? Remember we took
Yes.
Mookie, my dog, for a walk? We've been doing a whole loop around that like
Oh,
every day. So it's kind of been like our whole, like that's like a 3 mile walk. So we've been trying to keep active
I've
through
been keeping
this.
active with this podcast. So I have another question for you. As a
Okay.
photographer, when you photograph, is there like, which, do you have any poses you'd recommend for somebody just taking their own photo? Like, let's say at a car show, do you have any pose
Yeah.
recommendations?
I'm I'm
Or
always,
does it depend on the person, body?
it really it depends on the person and body. I'm, there's certain traditional angle, like portraiture angles. Like if you are worried about the stuff, like a lot of us are, like if
She's
you
pointing
lean
at the double
forward
neck. Double chin.
and if, but like if you go like this, like in a photo, like yeah, that's not like. But if you lean
Hmm.
forward, tilt your head, lift up your chin a little bit, it kind of gives a little bit more of an angle. I would love to give a tutorial on Zoom
Yeah. Oh,
videos
that look
because
perfect on
my,
a
my my husband,
video chat.
yeah, my husband, like he does a lot of Zoom videos, and I was like, no, you have to have your light source behind you, like in front of you, like so you're not like faced with like a window behind you because you'll become a silhouette. Like you want. I always like to have it like this. Usually, I like to have my angle a little bit higher,
All
but
about the
today
angles,
I
ladies.
yeah,
And men.
and the lean forward and then the chin down and you know but it really like just make sure you don't have a window behind you when you're doing a zoom that always or FaceTime or something because your camera will read that as your lighting like your
Make you
and
dark.
it'll just make you dark and that always like aggravates me.
So I guess it depends on the body shape and what the look you're trying to achieve. Because a lot of people always come up to me too, and they're like, "Oh, Jennifer, I wish I could pose like you." And I'm like, "Well, literally, I tell them, I lean forward a little bit and then like angle, and then make sure whoever's taking your photo is not like under here." So, yeah. So is there anything else that you want to tell us about your photography? Oh, it's like any experiences that you've had in photography in
um, well I can say that I hear a lot when I talk to people about what I do. They're like, I'm too old to do that.
wow.
I hear that quite a bit. And I'm like, there is no way you are too old to do this. Like, I have clients that are much older. My oldest client, which was in Hollywood,
Oh.
Florida, was 99 years old. She was 99 because when we were talking, she was like, she made it down. She looked fabulous. She made it down. She was from New York, and she was telling me about advertising in the 50s
Wow.
and stuff. But I'm not going
No.
to name any names, but I would say, so I tell people, I'm like, my oldest client was 99 years
Yeah,
old.
that's it. This is why.
So,
That's why I always advocate anyone can do anything they want. Photography, model, take photos, wear what they want. It's all about realizing your worth and just doing it. I think that's the hard part, is the doing
Hmm.
part, you know.
Hmm.
Because even with
Yeah.
my outfits, I know my outfits are not scandalous, but they're very bright sometimes, or my hair color is very bright. So
Hmm.
I get a lot of girls that admire that, and I'm like, you could do it too. You could rock this dress. It doesn't matter how old, your
Hmm.
size. Look at me.
No, like classic
Yes.
cuts, just classic cuts. That's
Or if
all
you
it
want to
is.
be a twerking, I mean, twerk away. You can do whatever you want. Just have confidence in yourself, and I guess that's the journey.
just just
Yes,
own
own it.
it.
Because I see
Just
some people
own
on
it.
TikTok that like do things, and I'm like, whoof. And I'm like, I'm proud of you, girl. And then I'm like, I don't know if I do that, but I'm like, I could, but I just need to like realize I could. I don't know.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
I know. I've been trying to do some TikToks with Ella. Like at first I was like, you are going to be my TikTok technician. So we're going to do some TikToks and you can teach me how to do it. And she did a little bit and then she's just like, ugh, ma. But she is always
The
doing
little
the,
dances. That's funny.
and then I bust them out like, and then she's like, stop.
Yesterday I made it to 12,000 followers on TikTok. Kind of
Oh,
doing
congratulations.
random stuff.
I kind of like, I fell off of it after a while because I started around when I started sewing because I got busy and I was just like, I can't look at another screen, but maybe I'll do some kind of
Yeah,
TikTok
especially when you
today.
start doing it with your clients and behind the scenes. What I really love about photographers is when they show off behind the scenes stuff, and you do really good in that. And we,
Yeah, every session has behind the scenes. Like
yeah,
every single session has like you can see. I always wanted, the studio is usually busy. Like when pre-COVID, it's like I have like a couple of clients a week, so I would always have like content, but like there really hasn't been any. I mean, I have stuff that I could go back into, but I'm just
you
kind of
like
like,
fresh and new.
oh, I can't. I need something fresh and new and to move
And
on.
your studio has
You
more than
know,
just
like,
one backdrop. You have like this backdrop that you could change. You have this kitchen. You have this like TV set, and you have your yard. Endless possibilities.
I'm yeah, I got that idea when I was working back when I was working like younger. I was working for like high school senior portraiture studios. And when you went into the big studios, that's what they would do because what they could do is just you have a light and you just move your light from the different backgrounds. And that way you could get 20 kids within, high school seniors having 3 or 4 different backgrounds within like 10 minutes of shooting. And then you could get the next people. Like it was like but I kind of adapted that idea to mine, but I take more than 10 minutes for my
That's
clients.
good. You take your time.
I take my time.
So please, oh, I think it's. So tell us a couple of things. Last minute things you want to tell us, like how people can find you, book you.
You can find me on the web, and it's www.vintagegirl, not girls, girl studios with an S.com. Or, you can type me into the gram at Vintage Girl Studios. And you can also find me on Facebook
Okay, and or
or
TikTok.
TikTok. Vin Girl Studios on Twitter because like they wouldn't let me finish putting vintage. Like I had to figure out what was like they only allowed so many letters within your name. And I'm on Tumblr too. I'm pretty much on every format
And you
that
have
you
a
can
blog.
find. Snap. And I do have a blog on my main website. And yeah, it's fun. I haven't updated it in a while, but will be soon
And
with
I
this
love her newsletter, so
podcast.
subscribe to her newsletter.
Yeah, I've been lazy this month, but it's gonna start back up soon.
Everyone gets a break
I
the
just was
last
like,
couple months, so don't worry. But
I,
you still doesn't mean you didn't have good
yeah,
ones. I love looking at your emails.
yeah. I'm gonna have a one with lots of announcements, and I'm gonna be doing beach sessions here, and I'm just trying to get a plan. It's Fourth of July weekend this
Yes.
week too, so I'm gonna watch Jaws on the house. I don't plan on
I
going
love what
out.
in Miami there was a couple places. that does jaws on the water, like on a lake.
Oh, nice.
They used to do it here. It was like a horror group, and it was a lot. It's a lot of fun. Because imagine watching Jaws in a lake, and then yeah,
In a floaty kind of thing, like.
It's fun. I want to thank you, Tina, for being in my podcast and announcing a very big announcement for you. And I can't wait to see this all grow.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited to show you all. Like, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Make sure to follow her because she's going to be nonstop.
And I'll definitely I'll send you one. I just have to get through these, but I'll send you one of my outfits, and then you have to take pictures of it yourself in it. Or maybe we'll do like one of these FaceTime. You know how people are doing FaceTime photo shoots?
I don't know how that works, but is it like a screenshot?
Yeah, it's basically like I direct you, and then I take a screenshot and then edit it. Like,
it looks like I've seen, but it looks on some people like a Polaroid. We'll try it. You never know. We'll see. Well, I wanted to thank you again one more time, and I can't wait to see you soon.